So hello everyone. I'm really happy to share this presentation with you today. It's a project we have been involved in since its inception, and we are really happy that this project is now a reality. I wanted to thank the AIVC and TightVent for the organization of the webinar, and also to thank Sandrine Charrier and Sylvain Berthaud from the CEREMA for the review of this presentation. Just a quick word about myself and dooApp before I start. So I'm Antoine Mischler, the founder and CEO of dooApp. And at dooApp, we have been developing innovative software solutions for building inspection and building verification, particularly in the domain of air tightness and ventilation system inspection for more than 15 years now. So before I speak more into details about the observatory, just wanted to remind you about the context and the legal context in France about ventilation system inspection. I will keep it short, but if you want more details about it, I invite you to check out the excellent VIP 48.2, which is freely available on the AIVC website. So in France, it starts with Energy Performance Regulation, RE 2020, which says that in building and parts of buildings used for residential purposes, in order to ensure that it's functioning properly, any ventilation system in the building shall be checked and its performance measured by a person recognized as a competent by the minister responsible for construction in accordance with the provisions set out in Annex 8. The operator shall comply with the ventilation system verification protocol referred to in the same annex. So what does it mean? It means that since January 2023, the inspection of the ventilation system is mandatory for every new residential building in France, whether single-family houses or multi-family buildings. This inspection should be performed according to the ventilation protocol that was established for the RE20, which is an updated version of the Promouvant protocol, which existed previously and that you might have heard about, that was used mainly for labels. And finally, this inspection should be performed by a qualified tester, which means that there is a qualification framework. And currently there is one qualification body, which is Calibat, which is who is applying this qualification framework. So the inspection is mandatory, but we don't speak about an observatory right now. So where does it come from that we have an observatory? Because it's not stated in the RE 2020. So to understand where it comes from, we have to have a look at the specifications for the qualification bodies, which are available on the ministry website. And in this specification, we can read that each authorized operator must report to the National Ventilation Observatory, either manually or automatically, for all of its operations. The observatory will then compile the data and make it available to the public. So you see that the mandatory upload of the inspections results is introduced through the qualification framework. So what is the goal of this observatory? It has mainly three goals. The first one is obviously to monitor the compliance over time of the ventilation system with the regulations, because the mandatory inspection of system was introduced after it was seen that a high percentage of system did not respect the regulation. The second goal of the observatory is to provide some objective figures and numbers for the public policy on indoor air quality, which is the most important point here. It's really a tool that allows to take decisions on the indoor air quality policy and to improve the indoor air quality on the long term. And finally, it's a very important communication tool for the general public and for the construction industry, because we will see later that many statistics are being shared with the observatory. And this is helpful for the whole sector. There are many people involved with the observatory, many actors around this. It starts from the qualified operators who will upload their report. Of course, the public authorities are using the observatory. Then the qualification bodies also have an access to the observatory. And finally, as I said, the general public is also able to use this observatory. So we will now focus on each kind of user of the observatory. Let's start with the qualified operators. So what can they do? They can, of course, publish the inspection results on the observatory. They should publish it no later than 1 month after the inspection is being performed. I will tell you later how they can publish the result. And they can also download an inspection registry, which is basically an Excel sheet, which summarizes all the inspections they have published on the observatory, if they need to perform some check and make sure they have published everything. The second kind of users we have on the observatory are the qualification bodies. So they have an account on the observatory. The first thing they can do is to request the creation of an account for an operator they have qualified. So it's really the starting point of the process. And then the operator will receive an email to finalize the creation of its account and choose its own password. And the second feature the qualification body have an access to is the possibility to download the summary of inspections published by a qualified operator. And it's a very important tool here for the qualification body so that they can make sure that the qualification framework is applied correctly. They can monitor the activity of a qualified operator. And if necessary, they can request more information or the detailed report of a specific inspection to make sure everything was done according to the qualification framework. So you see, it's really also a tool to help applying the qualification framework. Then obviously the public authorities have an account on the observatory. As a project owner, they can, of course, administrate the users on the observatory, so all kind of users. So create account for the qualification bodies, and they can also perform a full data export. So here, not just a summary of the inspection performed, but the full data of the inspection results. To perform some additional data analysis and statistical studies on the ventilation system inspection results. And finally, everyone might access the website of the observatory, so the public part of the website without any account. And it's possible to visualize some public statistics which are made available on the website. All these statistics are real-time, so each time an inspection is being uploaded, all the statistics are being updated. I will give you later some more details about the statistics available. I just wanted to come back on the process used for a qualified operator to publish the result of an inspection on the observatory. So the first option is to use a third-party software, which is integrated with the observatory, and the upload of the data will be performed automatically. The second option is to manually upload the result of all inspections. I will show you how the manual upload goes because it will also give you an idea of what kind of data is being uploaded for each inspection. So The manual upload goes through the filling of an Excel sheet, which contains the information that are required by the observatory. The first sheet of the document contains administrative information about the report and the building being tested. The report reference and the operation name, which are the first two fields of this sheet, are very important because they are being used to identify uniquely an inspection result on the observatory. And this is really important, especially if a result is being updated. So let's say the operators have performed a second check on the same building and wants to update the result on the observatory. So these information are really important to make sure we can uniquely identify a specific report. And the report reference is built after a specific pattern, which contains the building permit number, which allows to ensure the unicity of this reference. Then we have information about the building characteristics, the list of apartments in the building if it's a multifamily building, and then information about the ventilation system itself, what kind of system, and the characteristics of the systems and air units. Then the user will enter the information about the checkpoints that were controlled on the system. So here we will have the full list of checkpoints coming from the inspection protocol. And for each checkpoint, the operator has to say whether it was valid or not, or maybe not able to check for any reason. And then to specify in which apartment it was checked, how many rooms were tested if the checkpoint was checked in several rooms, how many rooms were okay, and if it was not valid for some rooms, then have to check the rooms for which the checkpoint was not valid. So it's a long list of points here to report. And the last sheet of the document is the results of the flow or pressure measurements which have been performed on the air unit. So here the list is depending on the ventilation system type and on the building characteristics. So it's not always the same list. And because sometimes we will have flow measurement, sometimes pressure measurement, depending on the system regulation type. And the user will have to enter all kinds of measurements that have been performed and the result, of course, of each measurement. Then the operator goes to its web interface on the observatory, so that you can see here. On the web interface, he sees a list of previously updated inspections and can use the import button to publish a new inspection result. So that was the manual upload process. And now let's check the third-party software upload process, which is more automatic, because in that case, a software like Infiltrea, which is the software that we are developing, but any other domain software which is producing ventilation system inspection report is able to integrate the public API of the observatory and to communicate directly with the observatory. So in that case, the user just have to use its own software, its own third-party software, and then ask to the software to publish the result of the inspection on the observatory. So it's really a quick process. And as I said, any software editor publishing a solution for ventilation system inspection might have access to this public API by requesting an account on the observatory, and will then have an access to the public documentation, the technical documentation that you can see here, which explains how to integrate the communication with the observatory in a specific software. One important point I want to stress out is the data validation process. every time an inspection result is published on the observatory, it goes through the strict data validation process, whether the inspection result comes from a manual upload or from a third-party software upload. It's the same validation. And the user will get a reporting of all issues with the inspection results. You can see an example here. For example, we check that all the checkpoints that were expected for the specific kind of building are here, that the format of the data is correct. And it's very important because this process ensures that we have high quality data on the observatory, and of course that the statistics that are being built using this data are consistent. So I will give you just a short overview also about the available statistics, but you can check it out yourself with the link in the presentation. So as I said, this is the statistics page on the observatory. So you see in red the number of inspection results currently published on the observatory. It's live real-time data, so it's updated each time an inspection result is being uploaded. And then you have several visualizations of the statistics on the public website. So I will go quickly through the statistics, but you can check it out yourself later. So the first one is the geographic location of the qualified operator. Most visualization are interactive, so you can, here for example, you can click on a department to see the specific number of operators in one specific department. The second statistic is the geographic location of the inspection. And again, you can select a specific department if you want the history over time of the number of inspections in a specific department. The third statistic is the evolution of the number of systems being inspected every year. And you can see the results for the single family houses and for the multifamily buildings. Then we have a statistic showing the types of ventilation system by building type. So here again, you can select a building type, select a ventilation system type, and see the history of the data. Then one important statistic is the number of compliant ventilation system over time. And again, you can see the results separately for single family houses and multifamily buildings. And the last statistic, the most complex one, is showing you advanced analysis about the checkpoint that encounter the lowest success rate, so the worst checkpoints of the inspection. So we can clearly see which points should be improved in the ventilation system installation or commissioning. So to finish with the presentation, just a few words about the project team behind the observatory. So the ministry is the project owner of the observatory, helped by the CEREMA, which is providing project management support and technical support on the project. And we at dooApp, we have been involved at the beginning with consulting as a domain expert for the conception of the observatory. And then we have proceeded to the development, the technical development of the platform. And now we are hosting and running the observatory. It was developed in 2 steps to make sure we were able to quickly collect the data after the RE 2020 was published. We developed the first version that was focused on collecting data, and that was published in 2023. But this version was not providing any visible statistic. And then a second update of the observatory has been published in April 2025, which is the final version, which is where the statistics are available. And a few hints to finish with about possible evolutions of the observatory in the future. These points have been raised in discussions, but nothing is approved yet. But it's the kind of evolution that you might see in the future on the observatory. The first one is an improved management of inspection versioning. We have seen that sometimes a single building is controlled several times, and sometimes even by different operators. So it's a point where it raises many questions how to handle this kind of situation, and especially how to take this into account in the statistics. So it's one point where there is some room for improvement. And a second subject is the integration of the mandatory airtightness measurement results we have also in France for envelope airtightness and air ducts airtightness. And it would be really interesting to integrate also this result in this platform, so that we can later perform also statistical cross-analysis between the quality of the airtightness and the quality of the ventilation system. So I'm finished. Sorry, just one more slide with some useful links you can find when we will send the presentation later. Thank you for your attention, and now let's switch to the question.